Hi people, welcome to another video on the channel. Today is my match preview as Forest take on Burnley under the lights at the City Ground. On Monday the 18th of September, Titans clash as Forest lock horns with Burnley on a Monday night, Trent side at the City Ground. Burnley are looking to get their first league win of the season, whereas Forest are looking to continue their good momentum pre-international break following their 1-0 away win versus Chelsea. Hello people and welcome to another video. It's my match preview as the intro suggests, and yeah, I shall analyse who we are facing and the game as a whole. So yeah, sit back, relax and enjoy. Make sure you hit the like button though, subscribe if you're new, and if you never want to miss a video, turn the notifications bell on, you know, just for helps me out. Close to 500, so if you can get me there. If you get me there before Halloween, that will be very, very nice. So yeah, thank you. Looking into our recent meetings with Burnley, we have actually already met this season in the Cup. Again, against Burnley, at home as well. Burnley did win that game 1-0, but it has to be one of the worst games I have ever watched. Like, genuinely, from both sides, we were both rubbish. There was about 3 minutes of good quality, and that was pretty much Burnley's goal. It was pretty bad, let's just say that. However, yeah, it was a mixed sort of team from us. I'm not too sure about Burnley. It did look a bit rotated as well, so that's to be expected. But yeah, so I'm expecting and hoping for a very, very different game this time out. But looking at form though, from Forest's form, obviously so far we lost Arsenal on the opening day in a very tight game. Got a very dramatic late win against Sheffield United in our first home game. Beat Man United 3-2 when we were completely and utterly robbed, let's just say that. And obviously most recently, pre-international break, we beat Chelsea 1-0. Now looking at Burnley's form, they have only played 3 Premier League games because they were scheduled to play Luton away, but that was postponed. But they have lost all 3 of them, losing 3-0 to Man City on the opening day, losing 3-1 to Villa, and 5-2 to Tottenham. So, as a whole, it has been quite a tough set of fixtures. I do think they would have beat Luton if they did face them, but yeah, that was because they haven't finished their stadium yet. So, overall, they probably achieved the same amount of points as what was expected from them. So yeah, obviously, form-wise, we're going into this game on the much better form. However, Burnley are going to be looking at this game as the most likely game to actually pick up points compared to their previous 3, because all of the previous 3 are going to be pushing for European football. Now, looking at injuries and unavailabilities now, obviously, Elanga was withdrawn from the Swedish national team because of a quote-unquote minor injury, which hopefully should not be too much, but then again, with our injury record last season, and minor injuries tended to be for at least 3 months. So yeah, I'm hoping it is minor, but I don't see him starting, even if he has made a full recovery. I think he will start on the bench. Danilo did come off with seemed to be a hamstring issue against Chelsea. However, there's been no confirmation or any further update on it, so he could play, he might not play, we'll have to wait and see. And obviously at the time of recording, Harry Toffolo has just been banned for a 5-month and been fined 21 grand because of his betting things that he did in 2016. So yeah, he will obviously be unavailable. In terms of Burnley, I don't see any major injury issues from what I've seen through research. It looks like there's a couple of players that are slightly doubtful, but I imagine with the international break they probably would have made a full recovery. So yeah, I'm not expecting any major injuries unless Vincent Kompany confirms anything in the next couple of days. Now, I'm going to look at the predicted 11 now. I'm going to do a predicted and a preferred 11. I'm going to start with the predicted one, which I do think Steve Cooper will put out. So, start off with obviously Turner in goal. A back 5, I think he will stick with the 5 at the back, which it works against Chelsea, but I think we should try and switch it up for games that against teams that are going to be around us. 5 of Aina, Niakate, Worrell, Bolly and Aurier. Don't see him dropping Worrell, which I think is fine because he put in a brilliant performance against Chelsea. Bolly, I think, has been very solid for most of the season. And Niakate, if you're going to take any one of that 3 out, you probably would take McKenna. And Niakate is coming back to fitness, and he just adds that bit of pace into the back line. So yeah, I think that's fair. I think I'll go with the midfield 3 of Yates, Sangare and Mangala. If I'm going to drop any of that 3, I probably would drop Mangala, but neither of them have done anything majorly wrong. Yates has been very underrated, and Sangare he just looks quality, and I'd be very surprised if he doesn't start him. And then forward line of Taiwo, and then I think Gibbs White will be a little bit deeper. But yeah, I think that'll be how Steve Cooper sets up. Do I think we should do this for the Burnley game? No. I think when you're playing teams that are further up in the league, then yeah, that makes sense, and who have got the billion-pound attacks like Chelsea and Liverpool and maybe Tottenham to a degree and United, that's fine. But when you're playing against Burnley, who are going to be in a similar region of the table to us, you want to be a bit more offensive, like what I've gone with. I've gone with Turner in goal. I know there's been talk about the other keeper that I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, that we've signed, could be number 1, but Turner's not done anything wrong yet, so there's no reason to drop him. A back four of Aina, Worrell and Niakate. Again, Worrell putting a 10 out of 10 performance against Chelsea. It's ridiculous to drop him after that. Say he had a poor game and we dropped him, then fair and captain as well. And Niakate adds that pace as well. Then Aurier at right back. Again, not really done much wrong at all in his entire career at Forest, so I think that's fair. I've gone with Yates and Sangare as the two main midfielders. Now, in the graphic, it says I put Danilo. I'm aware that he's probably going to be injured, but if he's fit, then I would start him. However, I would put Dominguez in, but in the thing I used to make the graphic, he wasn't actually in there, so I couldn't really put him in. So I put Danilo because I still would start Danilo if he was fit, but I would put Dominguez in if Danilo is not. And leading the line, I've gone with Awoniyi is obviously the number 9, Gibbs White coming off the right, and Elanga off the left. Because if Elanga is available, then I would start Elanga. If not, then maybe Hudson-Odoi, or you could maybe experiment elsewhere. But yeah, that's probably what I would do for the front three if all is available. Because as I said, Elanga's injury is supposed to be minor, so just bear that in mind. Now looking at the key threats that both sides possess, and obviously Forest, it's obvious Taiwo Awoniyi. 9 goals and 1 assist in 8 league games is nothing short of brilliant. He's on top form, and he just looks like a threat whenever he's on the pitch. So yeah, it'll be daft of me to suggest that he isn't a threat. Obviously, Elanga, if he is available, has had a very good start to his Forest career, getting a goal against Chelsea and an assist against Arsenal. So he's definitely on good form, as that pace as well, coming at the back line as well. Always a threat, and was brilliant against Chelsea. So both of those players will be a big threat. Gibbs White as well, it's only a matter of time before he puts in his usual top tier performance. His creativity is nothing shy of brilliant, so it's a matter of time before he plays well. In terms of Burnley, looking at their key threats, Foster's their current top scorer with two goals, and in terms of threats for Burnley, Foster has had a decent start with 2 goals. Probably Burnley fans don't want him to be their main striker from what I've got the gist of. But still, 2 goals in their opening few games is not too bad at all. Sander Berg was brilliant, especially in the playoff game when we faced Sheffield United, so he adds that threat. He's absolutely built. Threat from set plays, he's physical. He's a top-notch player, so he'll be a threat if he does start. And finally, Zeke Analuni also looks like a threat. He scored the goal against us in the cup game and has actually looked very, very promising from the small bits I've seen of Burnley. Has very good energy, looks very skillful, and he looks very promising and very energetic, so he'll be someone to be aware of. Finally, my score prediction. Now I'm confident. If we were playing this straight after Chelsea, I do actually think this will be quite comfortable, like a 2 or 3-0. But I do think the momentum that we had might have staggered a little bit, and with any potential injuries, and Burnley have had time to rethink and rebuild from the first 3 games of the season. So I'm going to go with Forest 2, Burnley 1. I have no reason to not be confident. Their defence has been very poor so far, so if we don't score at least 2, I'll be quite disappointed. But how I actually think the game will go, I think first 10 minutes I think will be very cagey. I don't think much will happen. I think it will be maybe 20 to 35 minutes, I think, is when we'll score first, and that's why it'll be going into half time. Second half, I think Burnley will be coming out, like, throwing a lot at us for the first 10 to 15 minutes, and then probably just before the hour mark, I think they'll equalise, and then it'll be similar to the Sheffield United one. Late on, someone's going to pop up with a goal, whether that's Wood, Awoniyi, whoever. It'll be written in the style for it to be Chris Wood. Someone's going to come up with just a scrappy goal in, like, the late 70s minutes, early 80 minutes. That's sort of in the last 10 or so minutes of the game. And I think we will get the win, and I will not be very happy if we do lose. But yeah, that is my match preview. If you want me to add anything else to these previews, like maybe talk about Burnley's predicted lineups, then yeah, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. And if you want more stuff from me, the social medias are all linked in the description. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.